was the tutorial? The whole writing game is like an open world game where you don't really realize that you've only been in the tutorial so far until you leave it and you get the whole screen of the title of a game and you're like, what? This was only the beginning. I spent 20 hours in the first island. Now there's tons of new islands you get to discover, but all the enemies are like totally overleveled for where you're at yet, but you don't have a clear direction of where you're going. And you don't know where the main quest is because there is no main quest. You have to decide for yourself what your main quest actually is and try to not get distracted by side quests, because there are definitely side quests, like a lot of them. And that's where I'm at right now. When I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I took lots and lots of time to discover the very first island, and I'm pretty sure I spent 20 to 30 hours just on that island, and then I got on the ship and started sailing upon the open sea, and then it said, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I was like, what? That was the tutorial? And the writing process feels like that. I was one of those kids that spent their time coming up with new ideas and having one really autistic friend to bounce them off of. We actually traded floppy disks back and forth back then with our stories. We were like exchanging them every day at school to update each other on where we were with our stories. You know exactly who you are. It was this sort of given. You're a storyteller and one day you're gonna do something with that. But I also come from a family of really rational people who were like, don't do creative stuff as your main job because the pressure of making all your money that way will really crush your creativity. So you don't do that kind of stuff. You're supposed to study medicine. I didn't after all. I studied stupid shit and got a Bachelor of Arts I don't use anymore, but I do have a proper job and I do the writing on the side. But last year in October I actually went ahead and published my first book after doing from like August till October doing this total editing craze because the manuscript had been in my drawer for ages. I had sent it out to writer beta readers to give me feedback, and then I actually sat down to work in their feedback and then do my own rounds of editing, like I think 11 rounds of additional editing, each one with a different focus, and then doing line editing. And I do hate line editing. It's just, finding the right word it feels so slow. It slows me down and my brain needs something needs to happen. But I did do it. Like, I went ahead after spending 20 years of my life thinking, it would be so nice to actually publish a book someday, like finish writing a book and then actually publishing the book. And I did do it back in October, and it was really silly of me to put the publish date on my birthday because I didn't have time to really focus on either, and I was just overwhelmed by my own expectations of what would happen, and not much happened really. Like, I sold a couple of copies. Thing I'm now realizing a couple months later is that the publishing, it used to feel like the end boss, like getting the idea to work, having the outline, fleshing out the whole story, getting through the sludge of a middle, actually managing to finish writing a story, which in my opinion is still the hardest part. For the last 20 years of my life, getting to this point of having an actual published book, like this one, having an actual published book in your hands that you created yourself, that felt like the boss, the end boss of a game. And now after I've published the first book and I'm trying to dabble into marketing and looking at all the other things I could do, I'm realizing that was the tutorial island. And now the actual game is starting. And the actual game has tons of different islands and you don't know which one is the correct order. Like, which one are you supposed to do next? This one is supposed to be the first book in a series. So writing the next book, which I actually got the first draft of for years now already, that's actually the logical next step. Like, that's the next island that I'm leveled for. I'm level 5. That's a level 6 island. I can totally do that. Like, write the next book in this series and then the next and then the next. The main quest technically would probably be the whole marketing thing. And what I'm doing right now, the YouTube thing, that's like a DLC area that has no fixed level, which also just deviates completely from the usual game mechanics. because it's not writing. It has parts of a writing, so it's not a new game. It has part of a usual writing game, and it has part of a marketing game. It's got its own rules, its own enemies, its own quest objective, and I'm trying to keep focused on what I'm supposed to be doing, but it's really hard. And I see like the merge island, but that's a level 50 island that I should not touch because I'm not there yet, but it looks so nice. Like it's got this really nice design, but I'm not supposed to go there yet. I'm level 5. I need to, I've done the tutorial. Now comes the grinding part. I need to read the other books. I need to do the marketing. I need to master marketing in some way to get like a constant sales record of some kind. And I can do the whole YouTube DLC on the side. I'm really struggling with this whole open world concept. That's why I never played Skyrim. There's too many options. So that's where I'm at. Now comes the grinding part. You need to get from level 5 to level 30 or something. The endless fetch quests, but in a good way. It is fun. Like the writing is fun. The marketing is fun. I am an output-driven person, so having an actual output, like having this in my hands is something I can work with. It feels real. It feels like I've done something. To stay in the analogy of an open world game, something else I've been obsessed with the last 2 weeks is optimizing the gear I'm using. I'm only level 5 and I'm already optimizing my gear, even though technically I'm going to get better gear on higher levels anyway. But I'm still, sidetracking a lot. For a writer, obviously, it's about which program are you going to use, like which editing software are you using, what else are you going to use to optimize your whole workflow, instead of actually doing the work. Yes, I know, I am supposed to be writing. Like every day I tell my husband I'm supposed to be writing, but I'm procrastinating again. He knows. I've been looking into Pro Writing Aid, and I've been looking into AutoGrid, and I've been looking into ellipses, and I have been using Scrivener for ages, and they do the moving scenes around is just really, really nice and smooth. Scrivener has so many options that most other programs won't actually offer you because they're much more streamlined for getting the whole manuscript into an order that works and putting it out there in the right format. It's really nice. So yeah, I am looking into whatever program can I use that feels shiny and new and motivates me to write again, because the actual writing is currently... I'm stuck. It doesn't help to have a full-time job and then you're trying to do the writing thing on the side, but your brain is actually totally fried from working. And if you do it during the week, in the evening you're like super done and you want to spend time with friends or at home, or just, marinating in your own misery of having to work in a capitalist society. And on the weekends you really just want to relax and tune out and go somewhere and sit in the sun and not think about more work you have to do. But the thing I'm supposed to be doing is writing. I'm currently recording this video instead of writing. I am also looking at new tools to optimize my writing, because thinking about optimizing your writing can count as writing without actually writing. It's a lot of, we're kidding ourselves here. And if you really look at the market of, tools that are available for authors and courses that are available to authors and one-on-one sessions that you can book with professional marketing people or other authors who are best on authors, there's so much out there that supports the whole procrastinating thing. The thing you should be doing is writing. The thing that's going to push your marketing is writing more books. Everyone keeps telling me this, and I had that discussion with my husband as well. I told him I realized I need to do more writing to be a writer. And he was like, what? And I said, yeah, I'm distracting myself with all of these side quests of doing the YouTube thing, doing the Substack thing, creating a really nice website, connecting the website to a shop to sell things that people only want to buy after I've written the books and I'm not doing the writing. And Lydia Foxlove recently did a really nice video on the difference between a writer and a storyteller. As she put it, lots of writers who've been thinking about becoming a writer for ages have started out as storyteller kids. You're a kid and you want to tell a story, but you're not used to the process behind it yet. And as Lydia put it, it's like in fashion. You design fashion, you design the whole thing. That's the storytelling part. But sitting down at a sewing machine and using it to create something, that's a craft. That's writing. All writing is good practice. Is it original fiction or fan fiction? Doesn't matter. You are still training the writing muscle. And I need to do more of that instead of, buying more gym clothes for my writing muscle. I need to actually exercise the muscle. After arrogantly thinking I know all the things I'm now learning, I've really just loved the tutorial, so stick around. If you want to follow along while I leave a tutorial island of book writing and book publishing, then hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, like, comment, share, tell a friend, dislike. I'm Yunior. I'm a writer of urban fantasy books. I'm hoping to write more of them if I can stop procrastinating eventually. See you around. I will now get back to writing.